Hey, I'm going to share my screen with you guys. Um, uh, there's a lot of messages going back and forth in Messenger. We're trying to figure out where we're going to bat, who's going to bat, where we're going to play, where, that type of thing. So I was writing it all down, and I thought it may actually be best to just show you in a video the thought process behind it, what we're going to do, and then, of course, kind of going over everything that we're all on the same page, and that hopefully my intent is for that to make it easier, and then throw in your thoughts, comments, etc., back into the messenger, and that way we feel really good about where we're going. So this is who we have and what this looks like. Okay, so these are the players. So right now we have 10 men. And now Dylan, he hasn't been able to go to be at a game yet. So we almost don't quite count him because he may not ever actually be able to play with us. If he is able to, he's going to. And so let's say there's 9. Now, interesting enough, we're all adults. There's probably going to be a game that somebody's not going to be able to attend. So that's one of the reasons we have, we have more people. I am going to ask if you happen to know, like, pull the roster. Like, I know that there's at least one week that I'm not going to be able to be at the game. So I'm going to go ahead and see who's available. So if you want to go through the rest of the games in the season, and if you already know you're not going to be able to be at one, go ahead and let me know so that we can plan accordingly. Now, of course, we know things may pop up and you may not be able to be at another game, but that will help. Maybe you're on vacation, etc. And then right now we have 8 women that are playing again. It's like last week, Jesse wasn't able to be there. Angel wasn't able to be there. So we actually ended up with only 4 girls. No, 5 girls last week. So even though there looks like a lot, by the time people, right, life happens. Right. Now, when we're talking about playing 6 and 4, 7 and 5. So this would be the plan is, and Dylan, I'd love your feedback on this to make sure I'm not missing something. But this is where this is what I'm looking at with the 7 and 5. So Chris is our strongest batter. He's also fast. Normally I wouldn't start him out at first, but if I start him at first, after that first inning, right, we would end up having Drake, Wes, and Chris, right? So we'd have 3 guys that have been hitting fairly well at all together, right? So we would have Crystal, because she's fast. She would be our, or if she's the fastest girl on the team, she would be our second. Chuck is a really strong hitter. He's quick. He's fast. I'd actually even contemplated putting him toward the end, but Chuck, myself, Ross, Jesse, Brian, Angel, and I'm thinking it would actually be Josh, Ashley, Drake, Wes. Now, the reason that we have these people on the other side, those we would do one of 2 things depending on, right, who all showed up. Because, like, again, last game, this wasn't even an issue, but we would do like a 3rd inning switch. So Jesse may bat, and then Kaylee would bat. Now, keep in mind that if someone's batting really well, so for example, let's say that I'm batting shitty that day. Sometimes it happens, right? We're all human. I'm batting really shitty. I'm not getting on, and Angel is knocking it out. Well, I'm going to keep Angel there, and I would let Chelsea bat in my spot, right? So that's kind of what I'm thinking. If everyone showed up, and that's typically not going to happen, right? Same thing, right, with the guys. Now, so that's what it would look like if we batted 7 and 5. Now, this is the available people in positions. Now, a lot of the people can play multiple positions, and but like, let's say this Thursday, my intent would be, and I did make a couple of changes. So normally, right, we have a guy at 3rd and short. We have yet to play a team that's really driving 3rd. I mean, like as far as infield. So my thought process, because Jesse and I, we both can play 3rd. We may not be able to throw out a fast guy, but we can stop it from getting any farther. Now, and myself and Ashley, I know that we can both play first. So if we put two guys, a guy at short and a guy at second, that ensures that we have really great arms that can do the relay play when it goes home and we're trying to throw somebody out at first, or just getting it back in, right? So Wes and Ross, we'd have really great arms for that, because that's going to come up more often than needing a great arm at third base. So that's the thought process there. Josh is our newest player, the least experienced player. Originally, my thought was to put him at catcher. When I called up, and Kaylee, you may be able to speak to this, but whenever I called up and spoke to somebody at the rec to say, hey, can we have a guy pitch and a guy catch? He didn't so much say absolutely no, it's not against the rules. He did say you really need, if a guy's pitching, then we need a girl catching. So then that goes, okay, well then we can put Josh in right. Now, if we're playing a team like that last team we played, they hit a lot right. So what we might do is switch our right center and right fielders. But we put Josh in right for the first 3 innings. Then we have Chuck, and Chuck is very fast, so he can get over there. And Wes can also go out because he's got a good arm and go help out right there, right? Then we've got Crystal, Jesse, and Chelsea. I know you played in the outfield as well. So we've got Crystal and Jesse that can both catch, that could play left center. And then Chris, because Chris is going to be able to cover everything him, and if he needs to help them out as well. So that is my thought process here. And what we would end up doing, again, it's going to depend on who's actually there, and then we can trade in and out to make sure that everybody gets playing time. So that's kind of what I'm looking at or right now. Hope that makes sense. Now, one thing that's 4 girls that are always going to be on the field, right? So in more traditional slow pitch softball, when we can't play the 6 and 4, we would have to have 2 girls in the outfield. So this is actually in our benefit because we get to have 3 guys out there. So that's what that looks like. Let me see if there is any. These were just my notes, and I thought it'd be actually easier to just tell you than, pitcher. So if you're pitching, and right now I have the people that we know that can pitch, and of course Chris can also pitch. But we've got Drake, Melvin, Ross, Chris. I think Brian, you've also pitched some as well. So we have some of that. Whoever's pitching, something that I want you to make sure of is pay attention to who's catching. That girl may never have been in a position for a throw in, tag somebody out. So it doesn't mean that they haven't been. So like Ashley definitely has been. I'm not sure about Melinda or Chelsea or Kaylee in that position. If I'm catching, I absolutely have been. I absolutely can do that. But pay attention to who's catching. Maybe talked about them. So either way, if there is even a potential that a play is going to be made at home, make sure you're either backing them up or you're covering the plate and letting them back you up for that throw in and that tag. So I hope this is helpful. Like I said, throw in any additional questions, thoughts, etc. Around this. And I'm also going to ask that, reminder, if you'll go ahead and let me know, look at the entire schedule. If you know you're going to be out, let me know so that we can make that. And then also, if you'll let me know if you are going to be here for this Thursday, so that we can put those pieces in place, because otherwise what happens is I end up having to make that schedule like when we get out there, and that makes it a lot more challenging to make sure that we have the right people, the right places, and all of those types of things. So hope this helps. Let me know.